How to position your SaaS product to sell itself. It's a dream of almost every SaaS owner that the product sells itself. In this video, I'm going to run through a handful of tips on how you can improve your SaaS product so it sells itself. I'm Matt Grace, Managing Director of Flying Donkey. Let's get into it. How to develop your position. So you're going to need to ask yourself a few key questions. What does my SaaS product solve? Who is it for? And what does it do for them? By asking these questions, you're really going to be able to work out a tagline or a simple sentence that you can deliver in your marketing to allow customers to understand what your SaaS product does. Let's break this down. Who is your target audience? Your target audience is really about who are the most ideal people to use your product. Sure, your product will be used by anyone potentially, but really niching down here is super important. Let's take an example. Imagine you're starting a project management SaaS product. Now, I'm sure project management is applicable to many industries, but there are differences in different areas. If you're a project management platform, it may be best to pick one industry. Let's say for construction. So once you've niched down into the construction project management industry, you have to start understanding who your target is. Are they builders? Are they mining companies? Are they large construction companies? Where exactly is that niche? Now, while project management itself is fairly generic in nature, there are differences between these industries. Talking to a particular target market is really going to get better feedback than if you went broad. Starting small and working up is really important here. And that's where finding your target market and target audience is most important. Once you've worked out who your target market is, you need to work out what you're offering these clients. If you go back to our product marketing example here, and let's take, we're going to build one for the mining industry. You need to know what these mining industry people are after, and you need to know how your product services it. So let's say you're a project management tool for the mining industry, and you're trying to work out how they can help plan their projects better. What features and functionality do you have? At this point, you can't be too generic. Simply saying we can help plan your projects is no good. You need to work through and say, we can help with inductions, we can help plan assets, we can help plan mine explorations. You really want to go in there and see exact offerings you can do to these clients, being as specific as possible. Drilling down so when someone from one of these target audiences is looking on the web for your product, they can see exactly what that product does for them. If they were to come across it and it was simply a generic product management system, they might be like, this product isn't for me. But if you've got some examples showing exactly what it can do for them in the mining industry and what offer and benefits that can do, that's going to change their response to you. And the response obviously you want is a sign up and a new customer. And this is really about how you make the SaaS product sell itself. Make it very clear for that target audience exactly what you're offering. All right, you've got the target audience and you've got the offering. Now what do you need to do? Well, in 2 words, it's prove it. While everyone can offer a lot of things and there's a lot of SaaS products on the market, you've got to prove that you can deliver the offering that you're saying. This can be done in multiple different ways, but the best way we've found is either through the use of demos or through the use of case studies. Allowing users to simply sign up and run through a pre-populated and pre-structured demo is a really powerful tool. If someone can click in and select that they're from a mining company and they want to use the product to set up a product management system, and inside there is set up all the tools and data that needs to do a demo, this is an extremely powerful proof of concept that shows them that it works on the spot. Or at the same time, if you've got a case study in the same industry, seeing another client use it and work for them, it's going to be extremely powerful for that end user. Because you've got the right target client and you're offering the right service, simply proving to them that it actually works is almost a foregone conclusion that they'll sign up and be a client on your product. It really boils down to if the product really does what it says it does, and that offering is perfect for them, why wouldn't they sign up? And really, that's at the heart of what making a SaaS product sell itself is really about. All right, so I've gone through really how to make a SaaS product sell itself, but let's break that down even further and how we can make that a little easier to understand. I'll run through 5 quick steps here on how to make that easier and 5 key steps that you can go through to achieve these outcomes. Step 1, create a target customer. This is where you're going to imagine and actually draw up who is your target customer. These are sometimes called personas, but essentially what they are is imagining who that end person is going to be. Is that Pat, who works as a project manager at a mining company, or Jill, who works in the accounts office? Who is it? You really want to put down this target customer and work out what products and features are they looking for in their product and what job do they do on a day-to-day basis that this is going to help them. And then that'll let you go further. Where do these people look? Do they read magazines? Do they go on certain websites? How are they going to find your business? Maybe they end up at conferences or trade shows. Creating this target client is really going to enable you to drill down initially and work out what you want to deliver and where you can find these people. Creating a customer profile is a really important first step on making your SaaS product sell itself. All right, step 2, look at the competition carefully. While you think you're running your own race, in reality, there's a lot of competition in all SaaS markets. You've got to understand what your SaaS product does better than your competition's and really try and highlight on this. Again, let's flip this around and look at it from the consumer perspective. When they're out there looking for a product, they're going to be looking at multiple products on the market. They're going to have to try and work out which product does this for me and what features are better suited for my business. Now, again, we've talked about about niching down into the areas, and I gave an example around product management in the mining industry. If you are, say, making a product management for the mining industry, you want to go around and find all the other products in your niche that are offering in that industry. You've got to see what features and functionalities they offer, and you've got to see if your functionality matches up better or worse, or where you're lacking or where you're better than the other competition. What you want to do is, if you are lacking in features in certain areas, you obviously want to go and try and develop them and make them better. Ones that you're ahead and better than the competition are really ones you want to stress in your marketing pitch. Simply put, SaaS products at their heart generally offer very similar basic features, but it's really those frills and ones that target into those niches are really the ones you want to highlight to your consumers. Leveraging competition is going to give you an easy list of things that are out there in the marketplace to be able to compare and contrast against. And really what you're going to do here is get the user on their journey and show why your product is better than the competitors and therefore why they should sign up to your product. Essentially, you want to make the decision for them and say, there's no point going with the competitor, you may as well just sign up with me. Point 3, demonstrating value. The demonstrating value really boils down to a few points. I mentioned earlier around showing other case studies or other demos of what your product can do. By demonstrating the value you've done for other potential clients, that value will probably resonate with other clients in a similar niche. At the same time, presenting demonstrations to clients to show what output your software can produce really demonstrates values for them. Again, if we jump back to the example I've been using, if you're doing a mining project management software and you run a demonstration for them, allow them to export potentially reporting or project plans or whatever your software solution produces, make sure they can see value in that. At the end of the day, you've got to make sure that your product demonstrates value because that's what the clients are going to pay for. If it can make their job faster or easier or cheaper or be more compliant, then that's the value they're getting from that. Make sure you know exactly what that is and you pitch that in your marketing. Being able to show that value to the clients is extremely important, and it's really what enables you to close the pitch at the end of the day and get that client on as a customer. Point 4, respond to changing data. This one is really an overarching strategy. But essentially speaking, you want to get some marketing and sales out there into the marketplace. You want to make sure you've targeted your right clients and you want to make sure you're getting out there and doing the correct offer. But what you really need to do is watch how those offers are being received by the market. At the same time, maybe the market is changing and there's other offers that they're looking at that might be more interesting for them. Maybe compliance has come in, maybe there's new tools in the marketplace. You need to make sure that you're tracking and responding to this data and that you're not just stagnant in your approach. You've got to be out there and make sure you're offering things of value to the clients that are current. For example, if you previously offered fixed phone services, those are obviously not really going to be taken up in the current market. But if you weren't responding to current data and moving towards wireless solutions, then that's going to be an issue for you. This is the same in the SaaS market. If you're offering a feature that is now commonplace across all SaaS products, but previously you were ahead of the market, maybe that's not going to be best placed in your offer anymore. Is there a new feature you've simply added to your product that may be of more value to these clients and differentiates you from the competition? You won't know this unless you're tracking your data. If you're seeing your ads out there in the marketplace and they're trending downwards on the amount of clicks they're getting, or they're not getting the cut-through rate they used to do, what you want to do is go back and tweak those offerings. Start at the start, look at those target markets, look at the features you've got, and tweak those offerings. It's really about staying ahead of the game and making sure that you're the one who looks like you're on top of the market. Make sure that you get all the clients out there looking for a solution like yours. All right, my 5th and final point here is around thinking about your SaaS product without the software involved. SaaS as an acronym stands for software as a service. Now, if we just take the software out of this equation for a minute, we simply have an as a service product. What that means is if the software wasn't there, a person would be offering this service direct to another person. So if you think about it in this light, what you're really doing is you're saying, if I was offering this as a person-to-person service, what would that look like? How would that interaction work? And what value would that person be giving to the other person? Looking at it in this light and taking the software out of the equation can sometimes really clear up your thinking. Sometimes we get so sidetracked in trying to build the best and amazing software that we really lose track of the service we're actually offering to our clients. If we pare that back and look at that service, we can really drill down and see what that is. Whether that is producing a project plan for them, whether it is producing reporting on an ongoing basis, or whether that's producing something else that they need. If you look at the actual underlying service that you're doing, you might be able to have clearer thought and clearer thought processes around what you're trying to achieve. Once you look at this pared down service approach, you can then loop back and see, is that the right target market? Am I offering the right things here? And am I proving that we can actually deliver this service? At the end of the day, if you can't satisfy those 3 key things, you're not going to have your SaaS product sell itself. So to summarize here, really what you're trying to do is make sure you are selling to the right people, you're selling an offer that is compelling and of value to them, and that you're proving that you can deliver that. Once you can do all those 3 things in unison and you're ahead of your competition, then your SaaS product will simply sell itself. Here at Flying Donkey, what we do is we deliver features for clients, and we keep their product ahead of the competition, and in result, that means their SaaS products eventually sell themselves. If you need help developing your SaaS product or have any questions about developing SaaS products, feel free to reach out and we're happy to have a chat.